I now call upon Jane Marquis and Paige Holtzman for the first 100-year program, the decade 2010 to 2020.
We are very excited to be here. And we just want to say before we present our slideshow that we tried really, really hard to be as inclusive as possible of all the Nashua Rotary Club members and all the efforts. Our committee was charged with developing a program outlining each decade of our Nashua Rotary Club for the past 100 years. So we're looking at 2011 to 2020 and Nashua Rotary Club, service above self.
We were able to somewhat easily pull just some stats on membership and maybe more interestingly, the gender distribution. What you can see on the top, we had a little bit of a drop off in membership, but have had a nice upward trend since around 2015, 2016. In the last 4 Rotary years, is we've gone from 26 female members in 2016, 17, and we ended this past year at 36, and we just added two additionals. So.
Started in 2011, went on to Jody Gage, then Charlie Hall, King Charlie we used to call him, King Charles, Maurice Warble, Paul Hebert, Carol Farmer, Deborah Novotny, Ian Bowker, Michael Aquino, and then William H. Berry, his second term, unprecedented. We're so proud to have him. We thought we'd outline the coveted passing of the gavel to the incoming president each year. So we pulled a few that we had from the last decade.
Here's Maurice, some of the highlights from her year, 2014 to 2015. They held the first ever Mardi Gras event, changed the Rotary accounting from cash basis to a accrual basis, created a float, participated in the first Nashua Oktoberfest parade.
And then we go to Paul Hebert, 2015 to 16, working with Rotary West on ending 68 hours of hunger, selling Christmas trees at Oh Dark 30, as he likes to call it, and with a future Rotarian, I'm sure of it, an expert salesman, his son, Joe Hebert.
Here's Ian. Kitty's Closet has really been close to a lot of our hearts and supporting many of the closets here in Nashua.
We wanted to highlight a few things that are really kind of unique to our club. Past President Mike Aquino, seems like recent history, right, Mike? There he is with Nancy Russell, District Governor of Rotary District 7870 last spring. And then President Mike is on the trailer at the Christmas tree lot saying, and what do we do about these trees? We have to also add that, you have led us through this COVID-19 challenge this spring in terms of our meetings and Zooming, and here you are with more technical assistance, and we love you, Mike. You did a great job and you keep doing it, so thank you. Multifaceted, multi-talented Jack Tully. We wouldn't be the same without you, past President Jack Tully.
And here's just some community grants over the last 10 years, totaling close to $300,000.
Show you what we do each year, the $25,000 plus yearly to local Nashua students and adult learners continuing their education. Our scholarship totals are about $300,000 that we've given to deserving area high school students in the last 10 years. And we also thought we'd show you the wide range of majors and things that these students are studying and what they're doing. We do have students come back each year to speak to the club, so you know that they're learning, you know that they're growing, and hopefully making an impact in their communities. In 2019, it was I've given away on the committee, and it was the year of the big check. Go Ian Bowker, past President Ian Bowker made sure that was great. And we had our 5 high school scholarship recipients and an adult learner, and those awards totaled, as you can see, $28,500. Next, we're going to go and have Adrian and Dr. Ernie Marino and Dr. Adrian Levesque talk a little bit about the Rotary International projects. So Adrian, I'm going to let you start.
I happened to go to Guatemala and I happened to see what was happening out there. And I saw an opportunity to get a global grant. And we did it. We got the global grant. It's 3 years now since we've been doing it. Our last meeting with the midwife students was last October. The May meeting was canceled because of COVID-19. Number of lives that were saved, babies especially, is incredible. I get goosebumps every time they send me a picture of a little kid that was saved because they were able to use suturing materials on the mother, because most of the people that die because of hemorrhaging. And I was told it takes 2 hours for a woman to bleed out. So just teaching them a simple thing like, you know, suturing episiotomy made a big difference. Here we are showing them how to grow things in a pallet. These girls learn very fast, and they cannot move from village to village. If you get caught, you go to jail. So they're very strict about the COVID-19 restrictions. ASAPAR is a group that we started. It's a NGO, and all the students belong to it. And we have a website with all the materials, the learning materials that we gave them is all on that website, so they can always go on there if they need to refresh their memories on things. These girls had a special, they're pretty special. They took off on their own in the middle of a rainy season. They had to go to a village that is not accessible except by walking, hiking. It took 3 to 4 hours to get there. And while they were there, they were teaching the women how to suture and how to do nutrition. And we hope that we can get to see them again in this November. This is the little kid that survived, and as a result of ASAPAR, one of the midwives was having a very difficult time at night, could not save this kid, and contacted me. I contacted Patty, who was in charge of the list of girls and their contact information, and within an hour or two, this midwife got some help. Probably, I think it was antibiotics, but it took about 2 days, and then I got this picture. The kid was saved, and that was all because of ASAPAR.
So this is a picture of the committee for the pairings fundraiser that we've been having now for 3 years. It's built such momentum, and it's really been a really fun gala, something awesome to attend. I don't know how we'll do it this year, Carol and everyone, but we'll pull it off somehow. I know I look forward to it. And then here's a little more fundraising and fellowship. We all know that selling Christmas trees is just fun, or had been. And it did incur fellowship. There's been auctions and things happening at pool halls and other places, and folks getting together and just sharing fellowship, which is very nice. Peter Hood is probably our #1 treeologist, and we think he's probably calling to ask for them to send more trees down. Past President Bill Berry and President Bill Berry now working at the trees. I think that was the 7 in the morning shift. And Chick Folio has always been a treeologist, and he had Brad Beer helping him out there. Okay, we're going to ask Rick Manganello to talk about the Rotary Club of Nashua Global Grants.
All right. Well, every Rotary Club in the world is a local club, but the very best Rotary clubs do things internationally as well. And I'm very proud that our club has done it so much through the use of global grants, which multiply our money. So this chart shows the grants done just in this past decade. We helped equip 5 maternity wards in Mongolia, which otherwise those communities would not have been able to birth children. We supported a grant in Haiti to put water filters and sanitation into Cité Soleil, which is the worst slum in the Western Hemisphere. We supported Pure Water for the World in Honduras, putting filters into 9 communities. One of my favorites here is in Pakistan. This single grant arranged to do 99 heart surgeries for children such as April Grace Humawid that we brought here and did in Boston. In this case, these 99 children were having their hearts repaired in Lahore, Pakistan, which made it much cheaper to do it locally and avoid all the travel. We've put typing equipment that types in Braille for blind people in Turkey so that they could prepare documents they could read or that other blind people could read. Sanitation in Honduras. In South Africa, help put a bronchoscope in. They will be our speakers at one of the next 2 meetings. Helene Visser from the club in Tygerberg, South Africa, will be speaking at the club. And finally, just this year, our club came up with $23,000 to support COVID relief right here in Nashua, working with clubs from overseas, bringing the grant here into the United States. So our club in this decade has put in almost $70,000 into these grants, which provided over $1 million worth of benefit in several different countries. Very proud of that achievement by our club.
So much, Rick. We wanted to have a couple photos of some of the program presenters. It'd be impossible to have presenters from all the programs, but we featured former Chief of Staff Andrew Card because he's spoken at our National Rotary Club twice in the past decade about the events that transpired on 9/11 and how he was firsthand with the president. Former Chief of Staff Andrew Card has done such a great job speaking at our Rotary meetings. Meteorologist Josh Judd from New Hampshire, WMUR TV, great guy, awesome meteorologist spoke. He brought some books and coloring books, Be Nice to the Weather Guy, and I think Brian Law and Maurice Warble were getting some autographed copies.
Here's Governor Jeb Bush, U.S. Senator Maggie Hassan speaking, and U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar. Here is Scott Brown from Massachusetts with past President Charlie Hall, Governor Sununu back 2 years ago, and Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard from Hawaii.
Unique to our Rotary Club are many different projects, and one of them that started in this last decade is the Days for Girls project. It was actually started by past President Ian Bowker's wife, Sue, and our club has been so active in this, and this photo doesn't really represent everyone who's gotten together to sew. Maria Teodora Negu Tea, Princess, as she likes to call herself, of Romania. She was our foreign exchange student from 2013 to 14. She first stayed with Karen Goddard and Karen Wolf, former Rotary members. And then she went on to stay with Amy and Frank Tees for a few months. And then I had the privilege and the honor of having her stay with me and my family for 6 months. And she became so embedded in our culture. She was amazing. But also she had so many friends and family around, with my family. She came back the next summer for a couple of months and stayed with me again. There were a lot of good Rotary connections. She went to everything Rotary. She's wearing a sash that had buttons and things from everywhere. She even had on her back a license plate from New Hampshire. She was bringing everything back to Romania. Today is her birthday, and I believe she is 24 today, and she has graduated the University of Bucharest with honors and is going to be entering what is called magistrate school. So she can go on to be an attorney in Romania and then go on to be a judge. And my daughter and she became very close and said, Taya, when you're a judge, it's not about their hair, their clothes, their shoes. And Taya said, oh, but of course it is. So that's our Taya. We love her. She's amazing. And when she comes back to visit, we'll be bringing her to the room.
Skip accepting a Lifetime Achievement Award, which I didn't know. It was only the second time this honor has been bestowed upon a Rotarian. So that's pretty incredible. And he was given a custom pair of suspenders. Rotary holiday auction, raising money every year around Christmas, and looks like a good time. Everyone's smiling.
Well, music has always been a part of Rotary in general. A booklet, which you can see on your screen, Songs for the Rotary Club, published in 1926, states this in its introduction: I am your songbook. I am fashioned to be of service to the Rotary Clubs of the United States and Canada. Use me kindly and with consideration. Draw upon me for a few minutes for one song, perhaps two, just before your speaker is announced, and see how well you will respond to me. Longtime Rotarians will no doubt remember Royal Diane, Bart Dowling, and Chet Lopez, who were song leaders before we had piano accompaniment. Despite their enthusiasm, a cappella singing lost its energy until Jack Tully convinced the country club to split the cost of an upright piano with him, which began the era in which we became known as the Singing Club. Rolly Bro played that piano and almost wore it out with his lively big band tunes. With Ernie as chair, we became known as Ernie and the Jets. We sang mostly old standards with a few new tunes thrown in for variety. In 2014, Mindy Abadili joined the club. Not only did she play, but she sang as well. Jack Tully came through again and replaced Rolly's worn-out upright with a new electronic piano, and the rest is history. The world loves singing and the singer, and Rotary's heart is full of melody.
You hold her hand and she holds yours, and that's a very good sign. That she's your tootsie wootsie in the good old summertime.
Wow, fabulous job, Lynn and Mindy. Yay! Everybody's clapping another round. Super. Keep up with the music committee. We need to keep it going. Community grants recipients, just from this year, we thought we would highlight for everybody. You can see some of the people on the recipients rather on the Zoom screen, Hollywood Squares, or as I like to call it, the Brady Bunch. And we've got the Plus Company, Nashua Senior Activities Center, the Front Door Agency, Bridges Domestic Violence, Big Brothers and Sisters, Humane Society, Nashua Youth Baseball, Gate City Bike, the Child Advocacy Center for our county. It's done by county. And it really shows the broad array of giving that our club does. And that was just for this year. Bill Berry, I believe, continues to chair that Community Grants Committee. Thank you. And then our high school adult learner scholarships for this year. The adult learner, I did not have a photo of. Her name is Heidi Supernaut. She is going to be studying human services and business management at Southern New Hampshire University, otherwise known as SNU. And I know that she has been someone who's connected with the Front Door Agency. So I say, Maurice, look out, because she's on a roll. What a really vibrant young woman. Alexis Trudell for early childhood education. Jeffrey Lamb's going to Dartmouth for economics. Leah Whitesell for pre-law. Brooke Backett, the Arsenal Fosher Memorial, is going to school for pre-veterinarian. Anai Dominguez is going to study history and then join the Peace Corps. So some really hardworking, really well-rounded, multidimensional students that we're hoping to support once again. We are not shy to any challenge. So our club rose to the challenge of COVID-19 in 2020, not just with the Zoom meetings via Mike, past President Mike, but also incoming President Bill and everyone helping to spearhead the Mask Up program that Rotary in New Hampshire was doing, and maybe nationally, I'm not certain. But I know for our club, we embraced it. And our club gave out nearly 10,000 masks to help stop the spread of coronavirus in our community. And that was in May of this year. And we continue to hold our weekly meetings via Zoom in July of this year. On the next section, I'm going to ask Mindy and Paul to speak to, please.
All right. This section, I was happy to help Paul with. Paul did the lion's share of the work in getting everyone's name and their industry and everything. But the thing that I want everyone to think about with this, when I first joined the club back in 2014, everyone was very concerned. Are you going to defect to the young people's club? Are you going to leave us? You know, this club was known as the old man's club. And the one thing that was never lost on me when I joined the club, yes, it was wonderful to be part of the music. And I have to tell you, Rolly was an incredible man. And I'm so grateful that I got to know him before taking his role. But I think what makes this club so special is the history and the tenure of its members. And there's going to be so many people in this in memoriam section, many that I knew, but not all. And a lot of you will know them all. And I think it's important we remember all of these great Rotarians that came before us and all of their contributions to the club. So we're really fortunate to have known these people and had them with us. Mike, just slowly click through the slides so that we can see everyone. And these are our current club members. We thought we would include everyone that is still part of the club today.
President William H. Berry II will lead our National Rotary Club into the next 100 years of service above self. And we ask ourselves these 5 things, but I don't want to take Bill's thunder, so I'm going to let him do it as he closes the meeting.
It's always good to reflect upon history as a way of personal privilege. The in memoriam was touching. My Uncle Bud was in there, who brought me into Rotary in 1986. You know, we're going to make history this year. I don't know what history that will be, but it will be outstanding. And I dare say in 100 years from today, they're going to reflect upon this meeting and the next meetings for the next 11 months. And as we end all of our meetings, I repeat after me, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all? And will it be fun? Before I end my first meeting, I want to show you the bell. The indication on the bell was, this bell was dedicated to our club when Skippy Bryant was 21 years old. It was given by D.L. Batchel, the president, in 1941-42. I struck this bell for about 40 meetings in 2005 and never bothered to look at the inscription. I mean, our club has been in this community for 100 years. That's a testament to the men and women who came before us. And I look forward to the next year with what we're all going to do together to celebrate our past and put a foundation on for our future. So with that, I call the July 6th, 2020 meeting to a close.